Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of our podcast. And this is a special one because today I have our first guest, and it's Adrianna, Ada from our team. Hey Ada.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You're a pioneer. You're the first person to do this.
Happy to hear that. I hope that I will, meet your expectations.
Which are high. So let's start with introducing you, Ada. We have been working together for a few years. You work as a business development executive at Espeo software. So maybe you can tell us a bit, what does it really mean?
Yeah, it means a lot of things. I am, first of all, first person to contact the client. I manage the whole process when it comes to new clients, the sales stuff, getting the deal done. And also, I frequently travel to some conferences, get to know new people, generate some leads, some contacts. So yeah, a lot of things for sure.
So probably many times you do all the work that no one other wants to do.
Probably, talking to people you don't know isn't the thing for everyone. It's not the easiest, but I personally really love it because you can learn a little bit from each person you talk to. So it's like the thing I like the most about my job for sure.
Yeah, and I was also thinking about spending Sundays at airplanes and airports and traveling all around because you do it all the time.
That's true. Sometimes you have to get up, at 2 a.m. to catch that plane, but you can, catch up on all the TV series you want to watch on the plane. So, yeah, if you have good time management, you can also, use some time on the plane to rest and do stuff you didn't do.
Absolutely. If you're able to sleep on the plane, because most people, I think, they can't.
When the plane is, quite empty, you can lay around. Sometimes I manage to do that, but of course, when there's a lot of noise, it not always is possible. But hopefully, next time I will be flying there, it will be. Yeah.
And Ada in general is a modest person, but in fact, she has planned and executed our strategy to enter a new market, which is in general a Gulf region, and specifically Saudi Arabia is the first market we're targeting. So maybe Ada, you can tell us a bit about your first impression of working in that specific market.
Yeah, honestly, I'm pleasantly surprised with the market. First of all, you can see that Saudi Arabia is like in full-on transformation mode. There's like tons of things going on, starting, from the infrastructure to the country growing literally because there are construction sites everywhere. When I was in Riyadh for the first time, you can see that buildings are getting built everywhere, and also there are tons of startups popping up. Everything is also backed by the government really well. So it is like alignment between the public and private sector. And in my opinion, it works really well because in many countries, even in Europe, the alignment isn't there. And even if they try, it's not working perfectly. And over there, I think it's really doing well. And also, I'm always like pleasantly surprised with the warmness, the openness of the people, how much time they are willing to give to you, how curious they are about you. So pleasantly surprised in general, for sure.
Okay, so it's not only like financial technologies and markets and so on, so things that we discuss on a daily basis, but also like from the living perspective and traveling perspective, like you see this as a very positive experience, right?
Yeah, for sure. Especially, in autumn and winter in Poland, when I'm able to, escape the gloomy weather in just a little bit of vitamin D. And of course, yeah, as I told you, I love talking to new people, get to know new cultures. So not only from the business perspective, also from like personal perspective, it is a really good thing for me.
And how diverse is Saudi? Is it like when you go there, you probably meet only local people, or is it a hub for, international businessmen around? How does it work?
For example, I will tell you one story. When I was there, like a couple of times before, I wanted to go to some excursion, see a little bit of Saudi,
Hmm.
and all the people there that were also there were foreigners that
Hmm.
are there for work.
Okay.
So no tourists, but people that are highly specialized guys that are also sponsored by Saudi government to relocate and to bring really the talent over there.
Okay.
Still, most of the times I speak to Saudi people, but there are like a lot of foreigners coming, and the wave is really accelerating, in my opinion.
Nice, nice. And do you see many Polish people there, or like European in general?
There are quite a few Europeans. I think that's still less than in the UAE, for example, because over there are like many Polish people. But I
Okay.
think that they will come in the upcoming years for sure.
And for the cultural things, what are the differences and similarities between Saudis and Poles, for example?
Yeah, to be honest, I think that there are more similarities than you think,
Hmm.
because we are both really like relationship driven nationalities. There are talks and trust before like any contracts start to appear. We are really also prideful with our traditions, with our heritage, with our culture. We have strong sense of who we are, both of us, and we are also open to other people, to other cultures. And I also think that Saudis like to build, like to solve problems. They are also, focus on the innovation, and it is the same thing, in my opinion, with Polish people. And of course, we
Hmm.
both like our local good food. So
Okay. So, like, what's the best dish you tried in Saudi? Do you have anything
there
specific?
are so much good things. The grilled meats, the hummuses, all the pastes. Really recommend to go to local restaurant when you will be there.
And like, what about vegetarian food? If as I'm vegetarian, would I have something to eat there as well?
Yeah. You can live off hummus there for sure.
Oh, yeah, hummus is great. Absolutely. But then in the end, you travel there for business, and lately you have organized an event that was really successful, and you did it in collaboration with the Divan organization in Saudi. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so usually when I travel to conferences, it's a big gathering of people, and everybody's in a rush to meet everyone. So this Divan initiative was totally different because it was round table behind closed doors. So you will really able to engage with the guests over there. And we talked about the mix of AI with blockchain, and we were able to spark some ideas between the C-level people that were over there. And also people had like very mixed backgrounds, from real estate, government, to financial sector. So like really a lot of different use cases were mentioned. And also there was a phrase that the data is the oil of the future. And the oil is something that Saudi is famous for. And now they are also aware that they have to strongly focus on the technology. And of course, if you want to have like a secure data, you have to add the extra blockchain layer of trust to it, to really trust your AI.
Sure, that's really interesting, and especially intersection of blockchain and AI. We see this growing in other markets as well. And the thing that is in common or in the middle between these two seems to be cybersecurity, which we dig really deep into these days. But coming back to Saudi, I also wanted to ask you about the Vision 2030. It seems like a really, really huge program in the Saudi. And like, what's your opinion on that? How do you see this happening? Like when you're there, when you actually see everything?
Yeah, for sure. In my opinion, it's not only like a program; it's like a national mission, and I think that everybody over there is really focused on fulfilling the goals. And in my opinion, Espeo is like perfectly aligning with Vision 2030 with what we can provide to the people. We can help the government with smart cities, with digitalisation. We can help building the startups from ground up. So there are tons of things we can do to make the vision into reality and to help Saudis for sure.
That sounds really good, and especially with local partnerships and local knowledge and everything. So it seems like a perfect mix.
Yeah, that's why we are strongly focusing on this market for sure.
Yeah, and then like you travel to Saudi all the time, pretty much. As I see you more in the Saudi than in Poznan, Poland. It's like you're there all the time. And what about your plans for the upcoming future and like in general for the next year? I'm not even asking about the specific events, as I know it moves around. But like, what do you feel? Would you be present there like once a month or more often or less? Like, what's your point?
We have like a couple of good established contacts already, so I hope to continue growing the relationships with them, and my travel will all depend also on their plans and the local conferences. But in general, we will try to be there as often as possible, and you always can meet our local guys over there. They are happy to talk to you whenever you will have any need.
That sounds really good. And have you already learned anything in Arabic? Do you speak a little bit?
I can say hello and thank you, but not much yet. But it is something to catch up. So, salam alaikum, marhaba, etc. Hayak. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually like for how it sounds, it's really interesting language. I think it's very melodic and sounds great. So it would be great if you like keep on learning.
Yeah, no, for sure. And also, what was surprising to me, they are able to pronounce Polish really well, because
Okay.
many nationalities have problems with our hard R's and sh's,
Yeah.
but they are really good at it.
Interesting. Perfect. Ada, thank you so much. I think you did great. Thank you for all the story about this direction, about Saudi Arabia. Thank you for mentioning what we do at Espeo Software in terms of Vision 2030. It's really interesting. And I'm pretty sure our listeners will be as happy with your performance today and all the information as I am. So thank you so much for today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was great.
Yeah. See you. Until next time.